Now, in continuity to the previous lecture, I will tell you about the further functions of the phosphorus. As we have discussed previously, that it is important part and parcel of the cell membranes and some high energy phosphate compounds. Also, it activates certain kinases, and also takes part in activation of enzymes by the process of phosphorylation. And phosphate also plays very important role in the buffer system of the body in order to control the pH of the body, to avoid the drastic conditions of metabolic acidosis and alkalosis. So phosphate acts as a buffer system to maintain the pH at 7.4. This mechanism of phosphate functioning as a buffer and maintaining the pH is incorporated clinically into the formation of the medications in order to control the pH of the blood and in order to control the pH of the urine to avoid the urinary tract infections. So phosphate is incorporated into medications also to maintain the pH of the urinary tract. And when the certain level of the pH of the urinary tract is maintained and pH of the urine is maintained, and the person gets rid of or gets protected from the recurrent urinary tract infections. Now the functions of the phosphate are summarized here, as it takes part in the formation of the bones and teeth and formation of the high energy compounds such as ATP, ADP and creatine phosphate. It has role in metabolism because it is incorporated into the enzymes taking part in carbohydrate, lipid and protein metabolisms as kinases. One of the example is kinases. It also takes part in formation of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA molecules, and formation of the membranes such as cell membranes and nuclear membranes. It also takes part in formation of the nervous tissue and maintenance of the pH as that of the 7.4. Maintenance of the pH as a buffer system. Now we will have a look at the regulation of the phosphate levels in the body. It is regulated by the mainly kidney system of the body, by the proximal tubules and by the control of the parathyroid hormone as that of the calcium, that was controlled by parathyroid hormone and vitamin D. Now type 2 sodium dependent phosphate co-transporters in the major molecule in the renal proximal tubule is regulated by the hormones and non-hormonal effects, and this is the main portion. Type 2 sodium dependent phosphate co-transporters, these are the cells which are responsible for reabsorption of the phosphate from the proximal renal tubules, and due to increased or decreased reabsorption of these phosphate ions, the level of the phosphate is regulated in the body. Similarly, the vitamin D increases the absorption of the phosphate from the small intestines, and the level of the phosphate is regulated by these two things. Now the role of the parathyroid hormone is mainly through the controlling the kidney mechanism. Whenever serum phosphate level is high, increased parathyroid hormone secretion takes place, and there is increased excretion of the phosphate in the renal tubules, leading to the low phosphate and normalized phosphate serum levels. So parathyroid hormone mainly increases the excretion of the phosphate from the renal tubules, unlike that of the calcium, in which case parathyroid hormone was increasing the reabsorption of the calcium. Now the other mechanism is this: when there is a decreased parathyroid hormone secretion because of the low serum phosphate level, what happens is that there is decreased excretion of the phosphate in the renal tubules, that will lead to the high normalized serum phosphate levels. So serum phosphate levels are regulated by parathyroid hormone, by vitamin D and by proximal renal tubules. These three things regulate the normal phosphate levels in the body. Now reduced phosphate levels in the body from the normal required amount will lead to a condition known as hypophosphatemia, and hypophosphatemia will manifest as its sign and symptoms which will be correlated to its normal function. जितने फॉस्फेट के नॉर्मल फंक्शंस होंगे वो सारे डिस्टर्ब्ड हो जाएंगे, और जब फॉस्फेट का लेवल नॉर्मल से कम हो जाएगा तो वो सारे फंक्शंस भी लॉस्ट हो जाएंगे. एज दैट ऑफ एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन भी कम होगी और काइनेसिस भी एक्टिवेट नहीं होंगे. सिमिलरली द न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन्स, the neuronal membranes and the cell membranes will get disrupted because it is part of the phospholipid molecules. Similarly, pH of the blood will not be maintained and pH of the urine will be not maintained, so it can lead to recurrent urinary tract infections also, irritability of the nerves and irritability of the muscles also, because it is also incorporated 10% in the muscles. Similarly, hypophosphatemia will manifest itself in certain conditions such as rickets, which are the causes of mainly hypophosphatemia, osteomalacia, hyperparathyroidism. जब भी पैराथायराइड लेवल बहुत ज़्यादा हाई होंगे तो as in the previous slide we have seen that there will be increased excretion of the phosphate in the renal tubules, और फिर उससे क्या होगा, hypophosphatemia. So pathological conditions, जो diseased condition of parathyroid hormone leading to the increased parathyroid hormone will lead to hypophosphatemia. And steatorrhea is the condition in which there is a fatty stools and loss of the fat soluble vitamins from the intestine. तो इसमें भी एब्जॉर्प्शन कम होगी. द कंडीशन विल लीड टू हाइपोफॉस्फेटेमिया, फैनकोनी सिंड्रोम एंड फैमिलियल हाइपोफॉस्फेटेमिक रिकेट्स. इसमें भी बोन रिजॉर्प्शन होगी. ऑस्टियोमलेशिया में भी बोन रिजॉर्प्शन होगी. हाइड्रोक्सी एपेटाइट क्रिस्टल्स विल ब्रेक डाउन एंड द फॉस्फेट विल बी एक्सट्रैक्टेड and excreted into the urine. Now increased phosphate levels, hyperphosphatemia. What happens in hyperphosphatemia is that chronic renal failure में होगा hyperphosphatemia, because there will be least excretion from the proximal tubules and increased resorption. And hypoparathyroidism, hypervitaminosis D, एक्रोमेगाली एंड डायबिटीज मेलाइटिस, ये सारे क्या होंगे, हाइपरफॉस्फेटेमिया करेंगे. एंड वेन एवर हाइपरफॉस्फेटेमिया टेक्स प्लेस इन द पेशेंट ऑफ द रीनल फेलियर, देयर इज ऑल्सो डिसरेगुलरिटी ऑफ कैल्शियम एंड द अदर एनॉइंस ऑल्सो, लीडिंग टू इलेक्ट्रोलाइट imbalance. That is why in patients of nephropathy, patients of renal failure who are on dialysis, we have to balance very delicately the level of the magnesium and the phosphate and the sodium and potassium in their डायलाइजेट. जो डायलिसिस का फ्लूइड होता है उसके अंदर के इलेक्ट्रोलाइट भी मेंटेन करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, और उनकी अपनी डाइटरी मॉडिफिकेशंस और रीनल डाइट दी जाती है जिसके अंदर उनके फॉस्फेट, मैग्नीशियम, कैल्शियम, पोटेशियम और सोडियम के लेवल्स बहुत डेलिकेटली मेंटेन किए होते हैं in order to avoid the deficiency of the phosphates and in order to avoid the deficiency of correlating anions. This was all about phosphate and its importance and its functions in the body, and these are very very importantly and closely correlated to the calcium functions and regulations in the body.